Arsenal 3, Bournemouth 2. Full time, Arsenal completes the incredible comeback. This is almost the fourth time when Arsenal is going like a goal down at Emirates and obviously completing the comeback. The comeback has been completed and Arsenal are back onto the Premier League table with 5 points clear ahead of City. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? Rokani David is my name. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner, that's the place to be. We are here to bring you the match reaction and all how everything happened. But after this, there is a new segment that we've introduced on this channel. It's known as How It Happened. After this video, I'm going to go ahead and really compile all the footage of how Arsenal went 2 goals down and then leveled the game, and how Reiss Nelson came in through and scored the winner in the 96th minute. Not so? And what do you learn today? That every minute that you waste is added back on the field of play with the game of play. I saw a player of Bournemouth go down at around the 92nd minute. And I was here saying that even if he goes down, the referee is not going to blow the whistle when it hits the 96th minute because 6 minutes were added. And obviously, in those seconds that he spent on the field of play trying to waste time, that's when Bournemouth lose out to Arsenal in a very, very, very fantastic way. By the way, this is escalating. It's scintillating, guys. And Arsenal has gone ahead to show that they are really champion quality. They are champion quality. If at all there is anyone outside there who is still doubting Arsenal's capability or ability to lift the Premier League title of the season 2022-2023, this has been the last warning from Arsenal. Very many questions have been asked Arsenal. Very many questions have been asked Arsenal. The most recent one was against Aston Villa. 1 up, Arsenal levels. 2-1, Arsenal goes ahead to level and Jorginho hits it and Martinelli makes it 4. You get? Against Man City when they lost 3-1, everyone thought that they are really down, but they've made a very huge response. Now, ever since they lost to City, Arsenal have gone ahead to win 4-2 against Aston Villa. Leicester City 1-0. Those are 2 consecutive wins away from home. They won 4-0 against Everton over or in the midweek, and today they've gone ahead to really do what we call a dramatic comeback against Bournemouth, a team that came in and really capitalized on what we call every chance they created. So they missed out on like 2-3 chances, and this is where I come in to give Aaron Ramsdale the kudos he deserves, because he kept Arsenal in the game for close to 4 times. 4 times is when this guy kept Arsenal in the game, and trust me, he's one of those players that are really going to contend for the man of the match performances. But the likes of Gary Neville that are really still doubting Arsenal, it's high time you gave Arsenal what it deserves. Why? Even today, there are very many questions asked to Arsenal. For the previous 2-3 weekends, it was Arsenal playing at first, and then City came in through. City, in all those occasions, found themselves drawing with Nottingham and losing 2 points, but the rest of the games they've gone ahead to go ahead and really win them. They beat Bournemouth 4-1, and today they've beaten Newcastle 2-1. You get? Arsenal, for the very first time, City played ahead of them. Arsenal looked like pressure had really gone ahead onto the players of Arsenal, and I don't blame them because the pressure was high on them. City closing down on you to 2 points doesn't leave you the same. Why? You see, even City came in through and closed down Arsenal. You see, Arsenal went ahead to stretch that lead to how many points? To 6. I think they were 3. After taking them to 3, because City was after City beat Arsenal, City was on top of the table and Arsenal was second. But because of the goal difference, they had the same points. Then Arsenal came in through, played first, and City played next. Arsenal won 4-2, and then City came in through and failed that test. Now, if City fails that test, then how come you come out and blame Arsenal for the pressure coming on it. Arsenal had a lot of pressure, and that goal they conceded in the first minute. No sooner had Bournemouth started that game of play than Billings put that ball in the back of the net. Though to me, that is unacceptable. That is unacceptable. And Mikel Arteta is going to go ahead and really tell his players, you really let us down. That goal that Arsenal conceded in the first minute just takes them off the plan because they were shocked. Arsenal came in through, and we look at the way Arsenal defended in that at the start of the game, it showed you that they knew these ones were up for annihilation or demolition at Emirates. The players were 100% sure we are going to win this game of football, and they never expected such a shock from Bournemouth. But it took Arsenal close to 50 minutes to go ahead and really walk up from the shock. That shock sent Arsenal to a level that in the entire first half, they are not industrious at all. They are not initiating anything that could have resulted into a product like a goal. You get? Bournemouth looked like they were a rock. They had 5 defenders at the beginning of the game. When they went ahead, all the 10 players were behind the ball, and the low block turned into a bus. They played a bus and make it hard for Arsenal. And we looked at how Arsenal was playing. You just found out that every person was really perturbed. They were surprised. Thomas Partey was not the same. Saka was doing usual things. Odegaard was shooting from anywhere. Martinelli, Emily Smith throwaway. And what befell them is the injury of Trossard, because Leandro Trossard was really leading that line very well and doing the hold-up play. You get? So that was another big hindrance to them. They brought in Emily Smith Rowe, and again Emily Smith Rowe was really taken off. But I would like to go ahead and really give kudos to the manager Mikel Arteta. He has made 3 substitutions that have won him this game of football, and that goes all to him. The first substitute he made was for Emily Smith Rowe. The second one was for Ben White for Tomiyasu. Emily Smith Rowe came in for Leandro Trossard. Ben White came in for Tomiyasu. Then Reiss Nelson came in for Emily Smith Rowe. I don't know whether Emily Smith Rowe had a limited number of minutes to play, but all of those substitutions have impacted this beautiful game of football. How? Thomas Partey to pull one back in the 62nd minute. Who really does that header to find Thomas Partey and tapping the ball in the back of the net? It's Emily Smith Rowe, another substitute that came on around mid. I think it was like a half hour mark, that's it. Then Ben White leveling the game in the 70th minute. Who puts in that cross? It's Reiss Nelson. And in the 90th plus 7th minute, who gives Arsenal the lead? It's none other than Reiss Nelson. Corner brought in by Martin Odegaard. The defender, I think he was is it Senels? Brushes it finds Reiss Nelson at the edge of the 18-yard box area. He takes a very good control and directs that ball into the corner of the goal, and it was really incredible. And I think the entire Emirates just ran into a total moment of amusement and surprisement. They were bemused by what really happened. I'm talking about Bournemouth. Bournemouth was bemused by what Arsenal really had to do. But Thomas Partey, that second goal, he would have done better that Arsenal conceded. Because if that second goal doesn't come early enough in the second half, I think Arsenal would have gone ahead to win this game more easily. They just needed one goal, and he knew it was coming, because ever since this season started, I've not seen Arsenal failing to score in any game where they've conceded a goal. You get? The only game they never scored a goal was that game of Newcastle where it was goalless. But every fixture that Arsenal has conceded a goal, they've gone ahead to score. And I thought that they had really got that rhythm of really keeping clean sheets. After keeping a clean sheet against Everton, you come in through and really concede these goals against Bournemouth. But I think everything happens for a reason. Someone might do something to really hurt you, yet is helping you. I believe this comeback of Arsenal has sent a message to the players that luck is with us. Luck is with us. Certain things happen like this because of luck. But you have to put it in mind that luck to be with you, you must put yourself in a position of luck. How did Arsenal put itself in a position of luck? By scoring 2 goals before the 90th minute. If they had scored 1, this would have been the equalizer. They wouldn't have gotten the 3 points. They've now gotten 3 points because they had scored 2. So, I support Manchester United. I've seen these things happen a lot to Manchester United under the era of Sir Alex Ferguson, because there are some comebacks that we did that I will never forget. There is a comeback of United versus Newcastle. First half, the game was 3-0. United comes back second half and we score 6 goals. There is a comeback against Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham had 3 goals and we come back and we win it by 5-3. So, even Arsenal had some comebacks again in that invisible era. I remember teams like Tottenham Hotspur going ahead of you and you come back and score. But the memorable comeback of Arsenal during the invisible run or invisible season was against Liverpool. Mike Owen makes it 2 against Arsenal in the first half. And guess what? Thierry Henry comes back. I think he scored, was it a hat-trick against them? And I think the other Arsenal player scored the 4th goal. But in the second half, they came back and put 4 past Liverpool. So Arsenal is showing champion mentality, champion quality, champion resiliency. That team of Arsenal is not having very many old players, but these players are really doing the respectable bit of it. Martinelli a little bit selfish. He would have gone ahead to release Bukayo Saka on like 2-3 occasions and going in for solo effort. That all is going to be digested more when we talk about how it happened. Now, let's talk about Reiss Nelson. One thing that I've really looked at for Reiss Nelson, or one thing I'm really pointing out on Reiss Nelson, is his mentality. You know, a player, every time Arsenal brings him on, he does something important. Remember the game of Nottingham? By the time he comes on through, it was 1-0. He scored 2 goals and created 1. This time round, he has been injured and the manager never gave him a lot of game time after scoring against Nottingham Forest because Bukayo Saka was back. This time round, he's brought on, puts in an assist and scores the winner. This player is sending a message to Mikel Arteta that if you don't get me a new contract, I think I'm putting myself in a shopping window. And what a way to put yourself in a shop window when your contract is running down in the summer. Look at Reiss Nelson. Let me look at his contract and see. Let me look at his contract and see. When is it running down? When is it running down? Because what he has done, I think it confirms what Fabrizio Romano told us, that there are very many Premier League teams interested into the player. His contract is running out in June 30th, 2023. So he last renewed it in 2018. He signed a 5-year contract, and obviously that is Reiss Nelson at Arsenal. And him coming in through his 23 years of age, what a player, what a mentality from this kind of player. And he never disappoints every time he's brought on. I remember the last time he even played for them, he had an assist in for the Arsenal side, and I think he did a very fantastic job. That is a player known as Reiss Nelson. So to me, he has done wonders for me. I've liked him, and I like him by the way. His footwork is great, and for a player to have not been playing games physically and lacking much fitness, to come up and put up such an impact, he deserves a start in the next game. If I'm Mikel Arteta, away Sporting Lisbon, Reiss Nelson has to be into that game. But as we speak, Arsenal have really sent a message to Man City and Manchester United that you guys, you aren't going to catch us. You aren't going to catch us. Why is this win so important? It's important because if Arsenal drew with Bournemouth, they would have been 3 points ahead of City. And remember, City has gone ahead to score very many goals. Right now, the goal difference, I think, is at 7. I'm going to show you in the next 1 to 3 minutes. United would have been having 2 games in hand, and Arsenal would have been 9 points ahead of Manchester United. If United won those 2 games they have in hand, that means they would have been 3 points behind Arsenal. That is something bad. You can't invite pressure of two teams to be close to you. At least you can go ahead and really accept that pressure of City and you can handle it, but you can't allow a second pressure coming in for Manchester United to close into you and obviously put you to bed. That is something that Arsenal players don't want to see themselves force themselves into. But Mikel Arteta, very, very, very good manager. Zinchenko played very well. Ramsdale, Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, Thomas Partey. I think that entire Arsenal side really had to use a collective effort to find themselves in a position of winning that beautiful game of football. And this shows you why they had to come back and really win. They invited the pressure and they paid for the dividends. That is Bournemouth. Arsenal had 30 shots. God. Arsenal had 30 shots. Bournemouth had 4. But to show you that Arsenal lacked a little bit of composure in front of goal, out of 30 shots, 9 were on target. And I think they would have gone ahead to register close to 15 shots on target because composure really lacked into their attack, especially Martin Odegaard, Martinelli, Bukayo Saka. They found themselves losing their minds in this type of game where they would have gone ahead to do better. That is Arsenal for you. And they went ahead to have 9 on target, of which 3 of those crossed the line, and Arsenal won the game of football by 3-2. Bournemouth were really too clinical. Out of the 4 chances they got, 4 of those were on target, and 2 of those were saved by Ramsdale, and they are really worldies. He pulled up worldies, and don't be surprised during my man of the match to come in really and call in for this guy to be one of the best players. Arsenal had an 81% possession, and I think this is the 3rd game in a row that Arsenal is having a possession of this nature. You get 81%. It shows you how dominant Arsenal is becoming. Now 19% possession for Bournemouth. Arsenal completed 735 passes. Look at Bournemouth, 177. Oh my God. Meaning that Arsenal averaged 365 passes per half. 88% passing accuracy for Arsenal, 58% passing accuracy for Bournemouth. 6 fouls by Arsenal, 8 fouls by Bournemouth. 0 yellow cards to Arsenal, 2 to Bournemouth. 0 red cards to both sides, 0 offsides. 17 corners for Arsenal and only 1 for Bournemouth. So Bournemouth really looked a very, 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 very boggy side. But Arsenal said, there is no way you're going to look boggy here. We are really chasing for the trophy, and we need to send a message to Manchester United and Man City that we are the big team into this. And obviously, Arsenal has now leveled with City on the number of games played. 26 games played, Arsenal has 20 wins, 3 draws and 3 losses, 59 goals scored, 25 conceded, a goal difference of 34, and Arsenal are having 63 points. Man City is having 26 points. Man City is having 26 games played, 18 wins, 4 draws, 4 losses, 66 goals scored, 25 goals conceded, meaning that Arsenal and Man City have conceded the same number of goals, but City have scored 7 more than Arsenal, and that's why City is having a goal difference of 41, but obviously 58 points of City, and now Arsenal is back to 5 points clear. 12 games left. What does that mean? Arsenal needs to win 10 games. In those 10, it needs to go all out and beat City. That's it. If they beat City and they win 10, they'll be through. But I see City dropping points very soon. They're having Liverpool next, and there is Chelsea in the mix. So they're going to do the needful to themselves. Let's pray for them and see. Manchester United, 24 games played, 15 wins, 4 draws, 5 losses, 41 goals scored, 28 goals conceded, goal difference is 13, 49 points. Now, when you look at City and Arsenal, they've played 2 more games than Manchester United. United tomorrow is playing Liverpool. If United wins their 2 games they have in hand, they will be at 55 points. 8 points behind Arsenal and 3 points behind City. So it shows you how competitive this league is. When we go to the table, Bournemouth is still second bottom on the table. 25 games played, 21 points, and this win is really going to be so much painful to them, and they are really going to feel the pain. So guys, thank you very much for watching in through. I'm coming back with how this happened, but it's an incredible comeback from Arsenal that has sent a message to all those that don't believe that Arsenal is going to win the trophy, that it's trophy time for Arsenal. All the questions that have been asked Arsenal, answers have been provided by Mikel Arteta and his army. You get all the tests, Arsenal have gone ahead to pass them. I know Gary Neville might have been there waiting to tweet something about, I think I'd already quoted his tweet, but I think Reiss Nelson never allowed him to go out and really get that tweet onto the app known as Twitter. So your reactions to Arsenal 3, Bournemouth 2 are welcome in the comment section below. Tell me your thoughts about this beautiful game of football, and I'm returning with how it happened, and we're going to be having the player ratings and so much more in there for you, and we are going to discuss more into the next video. May the Almighty God bless you abundantly. Me out.